old geezers, I'm a genius. I loved it. And actually, Ramses is an interesting discussion, because I did just lean towards you, Misery, just to clarify it, but this is his first TI. The youngster,
I think so,
the young gun.
Definitely his first TI.
I think TI5, he didn't quite get through the qualifier, and this is him on the main stage. And actually, we're going to have to cut this discussion short, because it sounds like they're ready to go. We can go ahead and kick this game off. It's time to see what Virtus.pro can do versus LGD. Get your thinking caps on. It is time for the draft. The best of three between Virtus.pro and LGD-Gaming. VP not only representing for themselves, but also battling to try and see what they can do versus the titans of LGD.
You can see that both teams here did their homework. Virtus.pro is banning the MAG, which 11 has been playing a lot of games, and LGD bans the Darkseer that Pasha has been playing on.
10 seconds. Kind of interesting how Virtus.pro actually used to favor the Magnus a lot back in Kiev Major, and passed a lot, and now they're banning it themselves.
It's worked really well with their team, especially because Ramses is such a draw to these like melee heroes who benefit from cleave. You see like his best heroes like Ursa, and Ursa with Empower can actually keep up and farm and be effective in the lane.
And in regards to just taking that seer away from VP, is that just, would you describe that as Virtus.pro comfort territory? That's just where they fall back to if things aren't going to plan?
I've seen a lot of Darkseer and Sven from them throughout this tournament. One of the few teams to make Darkseer really work well.
And they actually picked it the first two as well, so they're not afraid to just like show what they are gonna do, and they can actually make it work as well.
Yeah, they're confident in it. They're not afraid of encounters coming out, or they feel like they can ban effectively around it.
VP is one of the teams that actually, they're not afraid to show their lineup over draft in the like first two, and they're like one of the teams that seems like they want to have a good lineup themselves more than countering the opponent.
Yeah, we've seen Solo first pick himself a lot of Witch Doctor and Ogre, which aren't really counter picks to any specific heroes generally, just they offer your team things.
I mean, Rasmus, is there a balance to be struck with that? You know, drafting for yourself as opposed to deliberately trying to get...
I think specifically Virtus.pro is probably one of the most confident teams they find. I'm very surprised how confident they always seem to be when they're playing majors and tournaments in general. They always just pick Magnus Troll first two. They don't really care what you're gonna do. It's more like, try and beat us, you know? You know what we're gonna do, try and beat it now. So yeah, it's definitely something that they don't mind that much.
For those watching, Virtus.pro recently at the Summit picked unique heroes throughout the entire tournament, every single game up until Game 5 of the finals, which then they just picked their favorite heroes and won the tournament. It was, I was there casting, it was...
What were the favorite heroes there?
It was like...
Can you remember?
Ursa, Magnus.
Okay.
That was the only game that they repeated heroes. They brought out all these old strategies, Shadow Demon Luna, Magnus and Power plus melee heroes.
And still made the run.
And one turn.
You are seeing Crystal Maiden come to play.
That hero's bad.
It really upsets me because all it does is remind me of Slacks now.
She's just really slow. I think she's down to 270 MS.
She has gotten nerfed to the point where it feels almost unplayable. However, I feel if she comes online, she can still make the lineup very fast. Like she does get the aura to all your heroes, and the thing is, she jungles fairly quickly still if you get the right camps, and
it's okay.
And actually, like this lineup against Lich and Kunkka supports, it can actually work because like none of them are heroes that is gonna go into your jungle and just kill you. Like Lich is gonna stand on the lane, and Kunkka is gonna try to gank some like mid or safe lane.
That's so, but whatever lane VP decides to put up against the Lich is really going to struggle. I don't think Crystal Maiden is going to be able to help out at all there. I think her best efforts are going to be in the jungle, getting a quick level 3, probably 2 points in aura, and letting Night Stalker run around and grab as many bounty runes and have mana for constant voids.
Keep your eyes on them. Now, the Lich hasn't been discussed as much. In fact, we haven't actually got to hear your opinion on this, because the International 7 has been plagued by Lich. It's been kind of the hero of the draft, at least in the group stages. What's your take on it? Something you've been playing around with as well?
Yeah, I actually felt like I was one of the only people that appreciated Lich when he was where he was never picked.
Back in the day.
Yeah, like a few months ago even. I'm the hero has definitely become stronger as the game has developed a bit throughout this tournament. It feels like the 5 position doesn't really have that much of a place as much as it used to.
Sure.
The pull is pretty
10
weak.
seconds remaining.
It's hard to zone the off lane. There's usually a lot of pressure on the safe lane though. I feel like it's this hero has a lot of potential now. He can go to any lane, like Aka mentioned the other day, and you know, he gets his own experience, he gets his own sustain, he can armor towers. I mean,
he always has an impact.
Yeah.
And a lot of other 5 heroes just don't have that, especially in the laning phase.
Right. So getting that additional impact, and whilst you do say that, it does seem like it's kind of quite polarizing when you have a Lich played correctly and incorrectly. Could you shed a little insight, Peter, as to what like Lich's kind of checklist is going to be? I mean, you yourself have said that stats don't tell you everything. Bad teams can pick the same hero. Lich, I mean, we've seen Cloud9, they tried to draft it. They were one of the few to chase the Chinese with it and could not make it work. What does a bad Lich look like in comparison to a good?
Bad Lich or a good Lich?
Is that a tough question?
It's definitely a tough question.
Just using the abilities in the right way.
Might be more based off the team and how they built around
the opponents, I would say, because the ice armor is what's going to make him good in the
Sure.
late game. So if they're up against a lot of physical damage, now they actually pick Sven against it. So now Lich is actually quite good for them.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of bad Lich games where the Lich moves around a lot and or he chooses the wrong lane to be in. It's, you know, you want to set him up against somebody to slow them down. You know, if you're worried about.
He's also an enabler in a sense, right? What do you put with the Lich? There are certain heroes that can be very effective. You put a Centaur with a Lich and give him armor, you know, he's pretty much untouchable there.
You can pick a weaker laner. We've seen.
You can.
Morphlings.
Exactly.
Paired up with that Lich.
Doom has been picked with Lich as well a lot. It's also why VP is spanning it as well in the second phase there.
Virtus
got VP Sven.
Beastmaster.
Talked about that beforehand, and Beastmasters.
That could work as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if he gets a couple of levels to level up the boars, then he can be very annoying.
That is very strong for sure. This is a hero that nobody really plays except for LGD, right?
Not often picked into Night Stalker, but if you build a Vlad's first and you become this like 5-man pushing hero, you can almost counter what Night Stalker does for your team.
I actually remember how like OG back in the day doing like in Frankfurt Major and stuff like that, they actually felt that Beastmaster was kind of the counter to Night Stalker because he did give you some kind of vision, right? And you had the boars to push out the lane, you got your book, you can like rat a bit. Night Stalker doesn't like that with summons.
There's a
like
Sven and a CM though to help deal with that Necro book.
yeah, that's true.
And you can force towers with him as well with his passive aura. It makes the tower pushes.
It's not a pretty vague matchup, I think.
So you guys are a fan of the pick?
I think it could work, but it's not something that I would pick for my team.
See what they have planned here, because I think the hero is very versatile overall, and I think it's underappreciated at the moment.
That's looking like a Pasha Omni Knight in the off lane.
Yeah. Could be an
10
aggro
seconds
try, perhaps, to counter out the Lich idea, maybe, and then they put the Omni Knight against the Beastmaster or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be a tough lane for him, but Omni Knight, you know, with a little bit of sustain from the heal, could potentially manage the harassment from Lich's Frost Nova in the laning phase.
I think they probably don't mind that much putting Omni Knight against just Lich Beastmaster. He's gonna be fine there.
He's gonna farm at least, though.
But now there's a Troll, which is pretty decent in lane overall, so the Macro Trolley might not be the best idea.
They are gearing up to group up and push against this Night Stalker, I think. I think that's something that Virtus.pro is lacking a bit, is the team fight. Crystal Maiden offers a little bit, Night Stalker next to none. Sven, he has a hard time getting into fights until he gets a Blink Dagger and a BKB. But even when he does get that BKB, he's still going to be dealing with that roar from Beastmaster.
And surely that's something Virtus.pro would have been aware of. By drafting it first, they knew that that would give the freedom to LGD to build towards that. They knew that that was coming.
They knew that Omni Knight was coming?
Well, no, they knew that the LGD would try and build it to counter that Night Stalker.
True.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so Virtus.pro trying to get some more team fights so they can actually defend their towers.
5 seconds remaining.
With an Omni Knight.
You got Casey and Slack.
They need some kind of powerful mid-hero here, right? They need...
Nice.
Yeah.
Casey and Slacks on Virtus.pro here.
Yeah, they're representing. I think Casey pulled off the facial hair better, right?
Slacks is looking a little slim.
He lost all the weight, didn't he?
He's looking good.
It's looking fine. Who could cosplay as Sven? That's the real question. Talent team. I think PT, you could rock a Sven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more like a fly, kind of.
Yeah, that's more.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's get fly.
Kind of thing.
A little skinny, I think.
We'll get you down the gym. Give Blitz 6 months. He'll be there as well.
Night Stalker's ripped.
True.
Him and his blue buddy Sven. Jim
There is
Bros.
a recurring blue theme, and we have, as with all the drafts that are manned by me, gone on to a topic of aesthetics. Good job, Alex. Solid work.
Yeah,
Waiting for LGD's draft.
You're definitely derailing the panel.
That's my job, yeah. That's what they were like. Day9's keeping it on topic too much. Jump in and talk some nonsense.
You want to talk StarCraft?
Sure, man.
Medusa banned from Virtus.pro. I like that. Medusa's one of the hard counters to Sven because you can cast Stone Gaze even during his BKB when he's looking to connect the majority of his damage. He's got to turn and run away instead of fight. Necrophos, the last pick.
It fits well with the other heroes, as we said before, that they really want to push and push the tower, so now they actually have some sustain and heal.
What do you think VP is looking at?
Yeah, this is the big question.
The DP would be good for them, I think, but it's banned out. Queen of Pain is banned as well.
Puck?
I think Puck is a little bit on the weak side for their lineup.
You want more firepower?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want something stronger. I see.
Is the
Poker?
Poker is not banned. No, and Poker could be. They have some
no one here,
setups. Yeah. I could see maybe Storm Spirit being good, but it might be a little bit
OD?
Storm.
They have like
right.
Beast ulti and they have Kunkka X as well. I don't know.
I think Storm looks good, but the problem is if it comes a bit too slow. But they do have Repel. They have like Omni-Knight heal. They have CM Aura.
CM Aura. I think
They have
it's
Nighttime Storm.
Good.
You may now
Lina.
select
Alright.
your
I
hero.
mean, that's a classic with
She hasn't
CM
been
too,
picked
like-
so much lately
Yeah.
compared to before. She was very popular during the qualifiers.
I mean, you said they needed firepower, and they get quite literal firepower from Lina. Omni-Knight, Sven, Crystal Maiden, and Night Stalker. Now, the question is, and it has to be asked, okay, throwing this one towards you in terms of, is there a draft that you significantly like more than the other?
I think LED has a more clear plan of what they want to do, and Virtus.pro kind of ended up in a way there where like they had to try to counter LED's lineup instead.
They're going to be reacting a lot in this game. Those team fights are going to come out on top.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. We're going to go ahead and continue to top up our tan as we go ahead and jump into another fantastic game here at TI7. Your casters are waiting in the wings.
10 seconds remaining.
Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. Welcome to what promises to be a real barn burner of a showdown. Lumi, we've got LGD taking on VP. VP, the last Western hope remaining in the upper bracket. They've got a very fearsome opponent here.
Do you have to pay copyright to use that line?
No, that's just my homage to AC. I miss him, man. I miss his hype. You know, it's the best I can do.
Well, I got to tell you, I think out of all of teams coming out from China, I personally think that LGD is the strongest one.
Really?
Yes. You know,
Wow.
6-8 months ago when I was casting LGD on these online games, they were just kind of muscling people down just off the raw skill of Ame and maybe, or Somnus as he's tagged up in this game. But in the last 2 to 3 months, I felt like they have a complete package. Yao has been literally outdrafting their opponent pretty much every single time that I've casted their game. So they have made the final evolution. You got this raw skills, you got the draft, and now they are ready to take down TI, I think.
Yeah, looking at this LGD team, you know, like the old storylines for Yao. You go back to TI3, LGD got bounced by Liquid. That was a huge upset at the time. And then Xiao8 left. Xiao8 moved on to Newbee. He won a TI without any of his old teammates. And so the question became, like, were they holding him back? Did Xiao8 just need to get away from not just Yao, but everyone else on that team, Sylar, who was with him at the time? Now it seems like maybe we've come full circle, and Yao has finally fully stepped in that role as a captain, as a drafter, as a leader, and has taken LGD very far. But that said, they've got a fearsome opponent here, and VP want to get this party started, and guess who they find? The Jinx is in, and Yao down for the count.
Giving up first blood to no one, that is not a good sign here for your mid player. Every time you see your support give up first blood, you're the mid, you're like, dang it, why'd you gotta be there? But that will give Somnus, or I guess for the remainder of cast, I would refer him as maybe he's better known for that tag. Or do you think we should?
No, we can call him.
Maybe. All right. Thank you for giving me the permission, Ellie. I appreciate that.
I asked his agent. He said it was okay.
Cool. Yeah, that does secure him the rune, but still, big, heavy win here for Virtus.pro.
Yeah. Early first blood for them. And now, I think while we wait for these lanes to unfold, you know, we look at VP's lineup, so much of this game is going to be dictated by Lil on the Night Stalker and enabled by Solo on the Crystal Maiden. I know the panel mentioned, you know, PPD said it's not a good hero right now. Do you think it can be a good hero this game? Or is it going to be a liability, you know, all game long against what LGD bring to bear?
Are you talking about the Omni?
The Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden. I think she will be fine. She's going to be mostly staying the lane. One of her strongest or weakest point is that she's so slow, and this patch is really about contesting the bounty runes. But she's going to let the Night Stalker to do most of the bounty picking. So
she's here, you think, mainly for the aura to give a little bit of extra experience?
Her allies, all 4 of them, takes advantage of the allies extremely well, especially with Lina on the mid lane spamming away, as well as Omni Knight. Definitely needs a mana to keep himself gassed up on the top lane.
Often when we see the Omni, it is with some super carry that really takes advantage of the repel. Like, in theory, they do have that with maybe the Sven, maybe the Lina. However, there is some lockdown to go through that, whether it's the Night Stalker ultimate, the Necrophos, Reaper Sight stun, or potentially, you know, just looking at some troll bashes. So
bottom lane?
Not automatic, but that will be a good lockdown. But 11 does get caught out here in the bottom lane. Good pick to start things off for VP. They get 2-0 early. They're also pulling during this time. So this bottom lane seems clearly won, at least for now. Yao staying there for the moment. Curious to see if he makes a rotation as he's being bullied a bit in the river. The board's going to lend him a bit of an assist as Lil makes his journey towards the middle lane, running away from that board now, wrapping back in. So they're leaving the Lich bottom. And I want to ask you, do you like the Lich staying here? Do you think he could be more effective or useful elsewhere?
Well, not if he's giving up kills like that, right? I think the idea here is what exactly IG did yesterday. Remember, they ran the Sand King Lich in the off lane. They want to control this lane and just solely win, but instead they're just giving kills after kills after kills. Crystal Maiden.
No more mana here on VP, so they won't be able to get the follow-up, but it's now 2 deaths in the lane. It's a 3rd kill on this bottom half of the map, and you really have to wonder, are they going to make an adjustment? Yao TP's in again. He's going to deny that range creep, so content to at least try and slow the sun down, but
I think LGD is just getting a little bit too ahead of themselves. Lich as a laner gets really, really strong at level 2 and 3. Not as strong at level 1. It felt like they give away a little bit too much when they don't have any ability to fight. You take Sacrificer 1, you're a glorified range creep, just stay back. And unfortunately, they got punished pretty hard.
That does mean 11 is on his own, though, and they're moving in again, looking to punish the Lich.
Yeah, and this is where Lich gets stronger in the lane, right? You put the Frost armor on 011, and he's got 7 armor, with the, of course, the attack slow applied to them when you do attack him. So he should be absolutely fine. And so this lane is not winning for LGD, but eventually it will win.
So how about the other lanes? In the mid lane, no one duking it out with Maybe here. For a while, Maybe widely considered to be by far the best mid in China. Nowadays, I think some would say SCCC can challenge him for that crown, but certainly one of the premier mids. And doing well early on against no one, slight edge in CS. He's getting a little help from Victoria. They are moving in while simultaneously in the bottom lane, the Frost Armor saving the day. Can they get this no one kill? Alina's low, about to fall. Crucial that LGD gets this. Not dead yet, and no one makes it out.
Wow. I think maybe used his Ghost Shroud a little bit too early. I think he could have gotten an extra attack or two, not taking into account of the the Fairy Fire that the Lina activated. So slight mistake there by Maybe, but still having the lane advantage. Great game from the Kunkka, giving their mid a little bit of advantage there.
The last lane that we haven't really looked at is Pasha on this off-lane Omni Knight, who for now is getting his experience. Already level 4. They haven't been able to force him out of the lane, although they are going to try with the turret now. He's relatively low, has the level 2 heal, still the pursuit. They're going to be looking for some timely bashes. He gets pulled back by an X, but the creep wave comes in, and Pasha will be absolutely fine. So the early laning stage definitely belongs to VP, and now Wolfhowl's nighttime kicks in, and Lil starts to get aggressive. All those kills, Lumi, they're coming in daytime, but now VP can ramp up the aggression. One
of the downside of this defensive tri-lane for Virtus.pro is that they're not getting that much level. You have 3 kills in the lane, and your Night Stalker is still level 2. And that's just kind of a byproduct of Crystal Maiden nowadays. She used to be a very efficient jungler.
Lich.
And Lich, yeah. Of course, more so than Lich to CM. But now it looks like the Night Stalker will be roaming to the mid lane to perhaps set up a kill. And Maybe is relatively low.
Yeah, does Ghost Shroud up, has a few stick charges available as well, so VP aren't going to be able to commit for that kill. You in fact see 4 LGD heroes in the vicinity, just ready for a potential dive while also trying to farm the woods. And one thing about this Night Stalker pick is the presence of the Beastmaster. I think very important to talk about. It might not be the easiest Night Stalker game. There's always vision if the Beastmaster position's right. So VP can't just count and bank on being able to dive towers with impunity. There could well be a punish and anticipation from the LGD side.
I do want to point out this ward that Virtus.pro layout in the very beginning of the game, overseeing the Ancients. That's something that Lich offlanes would like to do, especially with the Beastmaster in the game. And of course, when you have a Sven, if you do know that there is going to be a stack, you can't easily steal it after a good fight. So I think that's definitely something that Virtus.pro will be looking towards to do.
11 feeding his Hawk into the waiting arms of Solo, who is now just dual laning as the Nightstalker continues his journey around the world, heading towards the top lane. Didn't really see an opening there. In fact, the Lich also making the rotation. I think he was hiding in fog, just waiting for that potential Nightstalker dive, and they're going to go again on the bottom lane. 11 could be in trouble here with the Frostbite coming out. He doesn't have the plus armor, the attack speed slow not there, and down he will go. Brutal start indeed. VP up 4 kills. Great start for them. They're not really that far ahead, all things considered, Lumi. LGD still farming well and otherwise keeping the game relatively close. But I guess the question is, how do LGD get back in this game? What is their strategy moving forward?
LGD needs a lot of levels on their heroes before they can do a lot. I mean, maybe he is level 6, so he could start rotating around, set up some kills, but not before he gets ganked here. That rotation.
Not where he wants to be. Laguna comes out, stick up pop, but it was after the ghost drop. He could be in danger. Then the Tori comes through. The ult from the Necro, they get the kill. CM down. At least a small trade, but the Lil looking for more. Wants some revenge. It's a double for no one. It could be a triple. Lil wanting to chase, but no one. Doesn't want to commit with those quick respawns coming through. Much bigger victory here. VP grabbing cores, only giving up supports, continuing to extend their lead. 6-1 now.
Remember when the question was proposed at the panel, what is a bad Lich game? You're watching it right now. Lich is supposed to give you the lane advantage. You're not supposed to fall 6-1 behind. You're not supposed to be losing out on so much gold. He was picked for this off lane, they didn't win off the lane. And now he's kind of rotating around, and that's not the reason why you pick Lich. Moving forward in the mid game, he's really going to be lost in terms of what he can do. Smoke gang going up top.
Yeah, you pick the Lich, you'd love to have passive lanes, but Ame getting trapped out. The Troll eats the heal bomb, mauled down. Virtus.pro continue to gain steam here, revving up the plow. They are in full control now, but soon this nighttime will end. And we'll see if LGD can start to get some momentum back their way. Ramsey's left alone bottom. There is soon going to be a Primal Roar available. LGD might be able to make a move, actually baiting this one. 11 doesn't have his level 6 yet, though. He's just going to give up a free kill. No, maybe not. Victoria, big save from him. The Torrent comes through, and now the slow. Just looking to retreat, though, as Lil's on the chase. Doesn't have the mana. He gets baited in. Now from the side comes maybe with the flank. The ult's cooling down 1 second. He won't get the bonus death time on the Nightstalker, but they do salvage the fight. And now Beastmaster level 6. LGD even bringing the Troll in for that engagement. They might be looking to push off.
They're going to steal this big stack. Ame, I believe that was a 3 to 4 big stack here, and they just cleaned it up. That was supposed to be a Sven, so that engagement, not only did Ramses not get the kill that he intended to go for, it also lost pretty big economically to LGD. I think that was a pretty good comeback here.
And look at the transition from LGD. They get the kill, and they're just going to group up the Beastmaster and the Troll together and force the fight. They're diving onto Solo, but reinforcements are arriving. Pasha wants to take this. He's got the heal. That's going to bring the Troll low. Now Ame needs to back away. Where's the follow-up? Still that Primal Roar available, but nobody on VP low enough to continue this aggression. So a good job by Pasha of blunting the onslaught, and now VP going to settle down a little bit. LGD forced to back away. This is the time where their lineup starts to ramp up in the push department, Lumi, but don't have a point in that Troll ult just yet. No battle trend, so perhaps not quite ready to go for it.
No, I think they definitely need a little bit more levels before they could actually group up for a concentrated push. I'm also worried moving forward in this mid game. I feel like Navi Pasha's Omni Knight is just going to be way too big. He got too much in that laning stage. Maybe walking into a gank squad, but looks like he's going to be okay.
3 heroes from LGD looking to dive. Still no ultimate on the Lich. We have often seen the Chain Trials come out. 2 heroes done by Ramsey's. Good connection to start. Now the heal to follow. Chasing the back. The Loda comes through, clutches the kill. And now 11 in danger. Continues his retreat, but the onslaught is there. VP storming forward. The Roar has to be committed just to get back safely. And still the stun's going to take him. Solo isn't even needed for this kill. No one scores. Another Virtus.pro are on fire early.
Meanwhile, Nightstalker successfully TPs out from a gank up top. Yeah, they are winning pretty much every single lane, every single engagement. And LGD is a lineup that I think needs to get a little bit more done in laning stage. I don't think you could just be like, okay, we're going to scale better in late game. LGD does not have that kind of lineup against Alina and Sven.
It is, you know, to emphasize the point you were making before the action broke out earlier, like, you pick Lich, you'd love to have a very passive laning stage. Just sit back, win through the war of attrition, through constant sacrifices, but they fought a lot early, and those were not favorable engagements. It was before the Lich got his level advantage, before the sacrifices kicked in, and then VP have been able to snowball it since. So I suppose a small silver lining for LGD is that VP has not been able to stack much. Still no ancient stack on either camp as of yet.
LGD smoked next to the shrine, spotted out by a well-placed observer ward by Virtus.pro.
Feeling the pressure to make something happen with this Necrophos. Did go for that early Veil. Obviously armor will be essential against the Sven.
Yeah, LGD just gives up the gank. They kind of know that maybe they got spotted.
Even a Radiant scan coming in. It's not actually going to detect Victoria, but this might free up the push bottom anyway. With 11's army of boars stacking up, perhaps LGD will commit. Sneaking in from the side, Victoria gets down a key deep ward. So far, so good for VP, though. They have mostly thwarted these ganks now, letting the darkness fall and closing in on natural nighttime. They look to defend this tier 1. Still no towers claimed. LGD, their lineup was predicated on taking at least one tower by now.
Or at least doing a ton of damage to it, which they have on the bottom side. But I think LGD definitely not happy with how their early game going. I think, critically speaking, look at Victoria's level. He's level 5. He's trying to smoke around with his team and set up kills, but without the ghost ship, I don't think they have enough damage to really kind of put people low enough for that Reaper side. Maybe has really even given up ganking with the team. He says, look, I need to get level 12. I'm going to just farm up, and you guys worry about yourself.
Thing is, they're so reliant on the Reaper site to complete kills, and you've got an Omni Knight to worry about with a level 3 repel. So the uptime is quite high, and very likely, you know, while you might get the stun, you're unlikely to be able to dish out the damage needed for the kill.
Yeah, LD, I gave you that little look when they picked Necrophos into the Omni Knight. Generally, Omni Knight's seen as one of the better heroes to pick it against the Necros.
Unless you crush the lanes really hard.
Which they didn't. So, you know, LGD is in a lot of trouble. Mid lane looks like the rotation is coming in. Are they going to make that dive? Or maybe?
Maybe trying to tank up now as he works his way back towards Hood. Still Lil eyeing his prey, but rather reinforced hide I'll have to choose for if he wants to get that kill. But while this is all going on, Pasha just getting some precious me time top. He takes the tower down uncontested. At this rate, we might just see like a straight Midas or Radiance coming out from Pasha. He's just getting all the farm in the world.
And there's no stopping him, at least not right now. Like, the only person that could really kill him is a dual gank of the Beastmaster Roar as well as the Reaper side.
Oh yeah.
But
easy GPM talent. Why not with the start he's had?
So what do you think he's going to go for? He's got the Midas queued up. Yeah, he's going for
I definitely think you go Midas. When you're already this highly leveled, like, you don't...
So what about the next item, though? Like, okay, Greaves, good choice.
They do know LGD's 5-man is really strong in mid-game, right? Once you get the key items, like I imagine Necro's going to try to complete a pipe. Do see maybe queuing that up now. Beastmaster, we'll see. For now, appears to be a Solar Crest. But they're likely to go for that 5-man push. They're likely to try to take Roche. So you do want at least something item-wise from the Omni that lets you take fights. And, I mean, Mech certainly fits the bill there. Actually, looks like he wants to change out for a 4-staff.
Okay.
But yeah, just something to help the team. Like, you can go back for something greedier later. But
sure. 4-staff seen as one of the best counter to Beastmaster Roar. You know, you spend a long cooldown ultimate for a single target hero. Boom, push him away, and you're fine.
Can LGD finally make a smoke work for them? It's tough to do it at night. They are going to try. One showing himself mid for now. Did opt for the Yule Scepter on the Lina. LGD move in. Arcane Rune here, maybe. Gonna snag it, VP. Immediately looking to back away, and Victoria unable to get the initiation. So again, VP correctly anticipating these LGD movements. That's the third failed smoke for them. They have just had LGD's number all game long.
That was a very curious time to make that smoke. Hold on, I thought Old Levin's gonna get initiated, and it's getting completely blown up. 5 VP heroes on the chase, Little flying forward, giving vision. But
pushing up the daisies now as VP starts to take this tower down. Tier 1 under siege. No frost armor on it even. looks like that Lich is afraid to even get near the tower for the time being. So, in fact, the one hero who sticks around could be punished now. The Necropho's spun out. Good stun coming through from the Centaur. Lil with the micro skills, and now the Chain Frost's committed, but the Omni's there to keep them alive.
Chain Frost?
TP's in. Still the Chain Frost bouncing. Keeps on bouncing. Still no kills. They need more damage. They want Pasha. They will get him. Can they find more on the retreat? Solo, dangerously low. The hero plays from Yao to try and keep his team in this game, but Centaur Stomp is available. Two times in a row. Lil with the huge plays going for that early Helm of the Dominator build on the Night Stalker.
That was a very poor timing to do the LGD smoke gank, in my opinion, because they did it during nighttime. Like, Night Stalker sees you before you see them.
And they did it blind. Like, sometimes we'll see teams smoke at night, but they at least have a ward, or they have some sort of vision advantage to set up for an easy kill.
They had one deep into the jungle, into the Radiant jungle, but I don't think that one saw any hero at that time. But finally, LGD with a slight momentary lead after that fight will take at least a tier 1 tower.
VP probably not in position to trade just yet as Ame cracks open the Mask of Madness. Raw attack speed so far for him. Grab the Yasha as well. It's the least important tower for their strategy though, as they really are a lot about the Roshan, but the Troll, the Beastmaster, heroes that can use the Aegis quite well potentially, like the Necrophos, who offers a lot on a second life.
Ramses, by the way, finishing a 4-stack Ancient, being stacked up by that little Centaur. Nice Stalker's friend.
Already grabbed the Oblivion Snap, I believe Echo Saber. But either way, LGD working on this tower now, quickly chewing it down. VP don't want to contest just yet. They are waiting for their next round of items. They want to take a fight where LGD aren't already set up at a tower, so they're going to retreat for the time being.
This last minute and a half for LGD has been really good. They desperately need that gold going into some of these key heroes. 11 finishing that Solar Crest allows him to tank quite a bit. I wonder if he's going to go for a Blink BKB or Blink build this game.
No one could be in danger here. The Eul's Scepter, though, is available. Quick Eul's, but the Chain Frost locked in from distance. Roar comes through.
Give him the Reaper.
Gotta love the commitment from Yao there, and they do score the long duration.
Look at his respawn time, 66 seconds.
Yeah, that's big, and that is the thing about this LGD draft is even from a deficit, they're just so strong in the mid game. But here comes Lil again, hunting Victoria. Oh, Victoria down once more. Lil continues to make plays around the map. 3-1-6 on the Night Stalker. And doing it solo now.
So I do want to ask your opinion about the Night Stalker Helm of the Dominator build. Not something that we see too often, but the Centaur has been pretty effective so far.
Quite instrumental. We'll talk about it in a moment, but for now, LGD getting run over in the mid lane. A rain of ice coming down as Solo continues to dish out the damage. Even through the Ghost Shroud, will slay Ame and maybe both cores down for the count. They didn't have the Beastmaster there. Of course, the Kunkka had only just respawned and they didn't have the boat available. Possibly a mistake from LGD, underestimating VP's willingness to take the fight.
Yeah, there's no way that Troll Warlord could be in that kind of forward position without having a BKB. Look at how awkward it was as he got kind of pushed into the right side. If he had BKB there, maybe he could sit his ground and fight, but they just got melted.
Yeah, he queues it up now. He's definitely going to need it as this game moves along. But
he needs both BKB and Diffusal Blade to actually counteract against Guardian Angel. That will be a big threat against them as well. So just a ton of items that LGD needs. Unfortunately, they are just too poor.
Yeah, they need a ton of items as the game moves along. And, you know, even if you get that BKB, Lina is a very hard hitter with right clicks, assuming she goes for the damage talent.
You have Warcry to back you up.
You have to spend right clicks, so. Other thing I think to keep in mind is they have multiple targets that you really want to roar. Like, those are the two big ones. Maybe you could even make an argument for the Omni Knights who can't save his teammates. But LGD, they're not frazzled by this bad turn of events. They're still going to try to go for the roads. They've lost one already. Victoria down. Now Ame's in the pit, but he rushes out, wants to take the fight. Now it's the Chain Frost. He won't get it off, though. VP swarming to the point of attack. It's a Zerg run from them. Blocking out Ame, picking him off. Aegis instantly will be burnt and likely dies again. Stormbolt's pulled down, goes for the whirling axes, but surrounded and pounded. VP make it 3 plus an Aegis down. They are fearless here on the big stage.
Yeah, they gave away the Roshan, but you know they just took it right back very quickly, and now invading into the enemy jungle. Do we have a second to talk about that Helm of the Dominator? Because Little has been microing out of his mind, known as one of the best Visage players in the world. I guess this is Vicious liked as he's sending in the Centaur, stomping people and extending chain stuns, as well as allowing the Omni Knight to actually have a good healable target in the front line to do that big bomb damage.
It can also soak up, you know, a Chain Frost bounce and
Sure.
potentially just drag it away from your team. So
And Centaur also has stacked 4 Ancient Camps for his Sven, so...
yeah, so you can basically do what you want to do at nighttime as a Night Stalker, and that's probably the biggest reason. Stay active, constantly pressure, while also still ensuring your economy is robust. So I think that's the most important aspect of it, and then the bonus is whatever it brings to you in an actual fight.
Sure.
Just
10
tanky
attack
with
speed
it.
also actually is quite nice for Night Stalker. Does get in quite a bit of right click, especially when he's in a 1v1 situation for support and jungle or something like that.
Still prowling about here as LGD seem to feel quite scared. It's a lineup that's meant to group up, take towers early, grab an Aegis, and use that to force objectives. But Lumi, they've gotten only 2 towers, and for their purposes, the least important 2, these 2 bottom tier 1. It's not stopped VP from farming at all. VP's farming the northern half of the map without fear. LGD, if anything, the lineup that wants to be map controlling and playing from ahead is currently playing from a sizable disadvantage. 17-4, down 9k gold. How do they get back in this game?
Well, Reaper Scythe is a hell of a spell. You know, when the game goes longer, the respawn timer kind of adds more and more in terms of how effective it is. But I think they're getting closer and closer to a point where VP needs to go up the hill, dive a little bit too deep, and make a big mistake. For now, it looks like the 2 teams will trade a tower. LGD does get the mid-tier 1, but here comes the backstab.
They want to fight. They're bringing in 5. The tower's low, but in goes Ramsey's head full of steam. Gets up the stun. Ame on the run, and from the rear comes Solo with the zoning. Ultimate meets the frost as he breaks down 3 with the help of his team. Now onto Somnus, and maybe no calls to be accepted by this Necrophos. He will drop as well, the lone survivor to tell the tale of sadness. The plow.
We're going to watch that one more time. You see in the front line, Sven just goes in, and on the back line, great rotation coming in. And they just cut off everybody. Crystal hit an ultimate. And like you said, it was a zoning one. And there was nowhere to go for LGD. They don't get a single player. And now tier 3 is being seized on.
This is what we all knew VP was capable of. This was the reason why we saw swagger and confidence from Virtus.pro at past events. Some have knocked them for being overly confident, even cocky at times. As mentioned at the summit, going for the, you know, pick a different hero every game, never play a hero twice.
Hey, they won that
strategy.
tournament.
And they ended up winning the tournament, and perhaps it made them a bit stronger. Now they come into TI and on the big stage, on the verge of finally taking a game off of one of these top Chinese dogs as LGD find themselves on the ropes.
Yeah, so far I think LGD has not really shown up and played Dota just yet. They had resemblance of showing up and play Dota. They made some good moves, but ultimately I think that they didn't execute the Dota that they want to play. The draft to me is not the draft that they intended to show right now.
I mean, biggest thing, is it just that they didn't get enough mileage out of the Lich for you?
Not just as Lich, but a laning stage as a whole, right? Like, Lich is a big part of it, obviously, but I think Beastmaster is supposed to do more in this stage of the game. Maybe supposed to be getting a Reaper Scythe kill left and right. How many Reaper Scythe kill have we seen? 1, 2?
I think just the one.
I mean, they have 4 kills, so we could, you know, count it up really quickly.
It's not more than 4.
Yeah. So, and of course, I've not felt the presence of this Troll Warlord. I mean, he's hit a tower a couple of times, he's gotten the Roche, but he's just not a big threat. He's gone for the Blink Dagger, which...
He still doesn't have the BKB, and the thing is,
right.
You mentioned he's not a big threat, like, he has to get a BKB. They have so many ways to deal with them otherwise. The blind from the Night Stalker with Crippling Fear, tons of slow chain stun galore with the Sven, the Lina, not to mention just the Omni Knight constantly nuking you down with the Purification. Like, he's not tanky enough to get away without a BKB, even if it's not a game-winning item.
Without a BKB, I don't think you kill anyone. Not even the Crystal Maiden. Like, Crystal Maiden could just Frostbite and run away.
Here they go. Moving in, the boat comes through, Ramsey's BKB, and now the fight. They're trying to get around the shrine here. Do they commit forward? They want this Necrophos throwing in the Laguna, the Chain Frost to counter. The Torrent's there as well, but it bakes Daddy Sven in the house, forcing Yo on his heels. He runs back into that red Sword of Doom. And it seems it's destiny for VP to take this game. One of the first times we've seen a team GG out on the main stage before losing a second lane of Rax. LGD just got dwarfed.
I think Virtus.pro did everything correct. They won that bottom lane. 9 Posh got way too much in his lane. Of course, Alina got the ganks that she needed mid, so she won there as well. Winning every single lane, winning every single engagement.
And they won the VP way. They won playing with incredible confidence, great mid-game teamfight execution, pushing the early advantage as much as possible. So for LGD, like biggest thing to change, it feels like gotta have a stronger laning stage for them going into that next game.
I think
I think the Lich can be fine. I think even the Kunkka can be fine too, but they have to kind of make sure that they don't have too many of those type of heroes. Kunkka, Lich, and Beastmaster are kind of the same sit back and wait type of heroes, and you know, you just enable this Crystal Maiden to do whatever he wants, Nice Talker to do whatever he wants. There's just no pressure anywhere. They're just all sitting back and waiting, and you can't do that against me.
Focus on your own game plan a bit, but when you're playing against a team as good as Virtus.pro, you also need to be a little bit worried about what they're trying to do. You can't play on your side of the map.
It doesn't work like that. I mean, why can VP get away with it?
Well, they attack their opponents. They attack their, their opponents had this strategy in mind where they were going to sit back and put Lich in a lane and just farm for 10 minutes, and Will was like, roam everywhere and grab kills left and right.
And I'm just like,
the best defense, right?
Attack is the best defense, and let's go ahead and jump straight on in. Game 2, LGD are against the ropes. It's time to kick it off with draft number 2.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
The crowd finds their seats. They sold you the whole seat, but you may very well only need the edge of it, as we're going to be seeing if Virtus.pro can finish this one off in a 2-0 fashion. They've got their snacks, they've got everything they need, and now it's time to see if they can get the heroes this time in the booth. We're going to see what VP do bring in. It's going to be the Void this time, going up against the Nyx. Two common faces, common occurrences. So
are they allowed to eat in the booth?
10
I was talking about the crowd. The crowd have their snacks, the players have their heroes. It was kind of something I was going for. It wasn't great.
Oh, I thought you said the players had snacks, like a little juice box.
Dude, I think you should totally be allowed that. You know, like a cheeky Skittle when you get a creep kill or something, or any other sweet.
Those cheese crackers with peanut butter in the middle.
What's your go-to gaming snack, Pia? I'm converted to like nuts, unsalted nuts, cheeky handful of almonds.
Unsalted. Wow, you're so health conscious, man. That's right. You could barely walk here.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of salt when I'm playing Dota. So.
Absolutely. But that lies.
Ooh. Ogre Magi.
Solo Ogre Magi.
He's back.
Yeah, this is one of Solo's best heroes. It really just shows how skilled of a player he is.
10 seconds remaining.
No cover.
I was about to try and go, really? Tell me why.
Yeah, that was a little passive aggressive. But no, Solo's an awesome player. Just Ogre is not a hero that takes a lot of skill to play. Although Solo plays it differently. He walks around with like 3 to 4 salves at a time, and he's just he's a mobile fountain for his team.
Maybe a branch.
Yeah, he doesn't like Ogre has a ton of base regen. He only needs maybe like a clarity, a branch. I don't know. That seems a little too much.
Yeah.
Maybe a smoke. Go for a courier or something in the early game, but you just get level 7, you max bloodlust, and you just buff your teammates the rest of the game.
So is that sense? So is Solo going to be spending the majority of this game just being a bloodlust vendor?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, how VP plays Ogre is usually phased around mid lane. Like they usually play dual lane mid with. They used to do sniper. I don't know if sniper is a hero these days, but they always
sniper Void.
Sniper, yeah. Why not? We might see a sniper. Who knows?
Sniper, okay versus Coddle.
But Ogre is very good with the Void here. We've been talking about that the Void really lacks damage before, and now he actually gets the Bloodlust, so he gets the extra damage in the chrono.
Now I know Jack isn't here, but I have got some kind of Chinese Dota info for you. LGD and all Chinese teams refer to the Ogre Magi as blue fat.
Turn to ban.
They've drafted blue fat.
I guess we're not doing Jack's corner for this.
Could go for a run, but we saw what happened last time.
We should just bring Jack's corner back for the non-China games. I think it should be like
he's fantastic, dude. I'm only there to kind of say go and stop. He's
10 seconds.
You had your own flavor to it. You did a great job. You're welcome.
5 seconds remaining.
Cottle and Nick.
We haven't seen a lot of Nyx Assassin. It's actually been kind of passed up a little bit more than I thought it would. And
same question I was thinking.
When it has been picked, it's been doing very well. That was Day 9 is just beside himself about the 80% win rate of Nyx Assassin. He brings it up every single break.
Yeah.
It's been done as well a lot of games against teams that usually picks him, or if it's teams that wants to pick this Pup or Cop mid, then they ban the Nyx, so he can't come there to a small person.
5 seconds
yeah,
remaining.
the level 1 mana burn in mid, acting as like kind of how we'll probably see Solo play this game.
Actually very smart. It's a way to make yourself useful early on without...
Yeah, that's where Nyx struggles the most, especially as a support. It's when, what does he do from levels 1 to 6?
Yeah.
So big question now. We haven't actually talked. If you look at that most recent ban from LG, is that just pure respect to Lil?
10 seconds remaining.
Is that Enchantress? Am I making my eyes deceiving?
So it could be a little. It's probably a little bit of both, as is most everything in Dota. A lot of different variables and moving pieces you got to look out for. But what it kind of tells to me is
Virtus
they might want the
turn
Nyx
to
and Coddle to be their support duo.
Okay.
And neither of these heroes can deal with an enchant. You ban out that enchant, you don't think about that, and you still use.
And VP have struck the fear of God into them previous.
Have
10
VP played
seconds
offlane edge,
remaining.
or was it only EG?
That was, I think it's only EG that played offlane edge.
5 seconds
That being said, I
remaining.
think they have played it before, just not at this tournament. And I wouldn't put it past them. They're one of the most versatile.
By the way, Keeper of the Light is not really picked that much either. It's pretty much only Liquid who plays it, right? And this is pretty interesting that they choose it in first two, kind of out of nowhere here.
LGD's
I mean,
turn
we've seen
to
what
pick.
GH can do with it, right? Okay, I mean, we've seen the impact a Kotl can have. Is it
It
just
can be very
is it a
good,
unique
but
case?
it's more about the team as well, that the team played very good around it. They let the GH get the space as well, because without farm, Coddle is not that good, so...
I like it against Void.
10 seconds
Especially like
remaining.
Void Ogre. You see, talking about Bloodlust being attack speed
5
and
seconds
allowing teams to do
remaining.
more physical damage. Blinding Light's going to be great for that, because no matter how fast you
Virtus
attack, you're going to be
Pro's
missing
turn to
a bunch
pick.
with that Blinding Light. And
Shaker.
you can also use some elements of split push with Coddle, which is great to avoid team fights and find the right team fights when you're up against a Void who has this Chronosphere.
Void's also a hero that can't really kill creeps that easily. Like, he's right-clicking creeps down, whereas Coddle just kind of blasts them away, so... Yeah.
If you can get
10
Void to
seconds
show in
remaining.
lane, you'll know exactly where you can either gank him or stay away from him.
LGD's
And I'm sure you've been asked this
turn
question
to pick.
1,000 times, but
Wow!
never mind. Change of plan, change of topic. Chen shows his face.
Is that the second Chen pick? I think he was picked once during the group session and he lost.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was 0% win rate.
VP is a team that's been playing good with Chen before, so...
So you're
10
a Chen player.
seconds remaining.
I'm a much more mediocre Chen player.
I mean, right now,
5
it's kind of the same
seconds
thing as
remaining.
Eng, like they banned it. They have Fallen and then Nyx probably as support. So then, in that sense, Chen is very good against these heroes.
So I agree. I think laning phase, picking Chen into Coddle and Earthshaker, that's kind of scary.
I think it's more that you just have to make sure that you don't just push blindly into the tower to make them being able to nuke down the creeps. You have to go around the towers to find pickoffs or kills before.
So Chen works really well with Zanking as well, because we're probably going to see the Chen run to the Zanking, and Zanking is going to kill the Caustic and push in the lane constantly, and they're going to be able to dive and apply a lot of pressure, and they don't really need to help out the Void that much. Maybe Ogre is going to start there, give him a head start against Shaker, and then start running between mid and the safe lane. They're going to collapse.
How would you suggest LGD deal with a lane by saying diving?
It's always a bit tricky, I think, but I would suggest you start there with your two supports, and you shut down the Zanking so he can't actually push in the lane in the beginning. And then when Chen comes, you start pushing out the wave. Your carry could also be pretty important here, like maybe you want a ranged guy that you can eventually leave alone, maybe a Necrophos again, maybe a Weaver.
Something to stay off the melee creeps.
Kind of, yes. Something that will be hard to kill for the Chen Zanking. And then probably end up having like a true carry from mid lane, like your actual win condition.
Turn to back.
The sack.
Lush Rat, core Lush.
That's a maybe Lesh, right? Or is it like a mid Lesh?
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. That here would definitely struggle. Chen Zanking.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be easier for them to protect him
10
mid than it
seconds
is to
remaining.
protect him in the safe lane because of the Zanking. So
Especially with Nyx now
5
floating around
seconds
mid,
remaining.
backing him up. One thing that I would suggest for LGD is starting with the supports in the safe lane to help with the Zanking. Coddle can just blast the wave and
turn
over
to
and
ban.
keep that wave pushed out.
Yeah.
So as long as, Zanking is going to get his farm for sure, but you're not at risk of dying to the Chen. And that's like the big strat right now is their supports aren't
LGD's
Chen
turn
creep.
to pick.
So they just need to eliminate any opportunities for Lil to set up those. And then as the game progresses and they get levels and they start getting items, I think Chen will start to fall off.
I also think the issue with Chen in general is that he comes with his creep and then you kind of just run away from that creep and then he sits there.
Takes
And
advantage of that.
He kind of just sits there and he doesn't really achieve anything. He doesn't get any experience. So when he starts attacking a creep, like if he starts farming jungle, then you can contest him, and he's kind of like, he doesn't
10
really have a
seconds
catch. He's like, he's hard to pull off, I think, these days. But
And his
Okay,
ultimate
they're
is like
attacking. They're attacking a hero you know and love. What's happening here? Defend him.
well, there is a reason why I haven't played it in a long time as well, and I actually love the hero, but I feel he's a bit too weak, and it's mostly because of the ultimate right now as well, that it's been nerfed a lot. So it's 160 or 180 seconds on the first level, or 160.
It's super.
And then it's like too long.
yeah,
It's
way too long.
anymore.
you might not even want to skill it, to be honest. I don't even know if it's worth it.
Probably.
But
So what rounds this out then? What's the cherry on top of this
maybe
highly
you're going to see Sniper, actually. I don't think it's that bad.
No one hero, I like it. Sniper up against Troll, stay far away. Pretty good against Leshrac too, that headshot interaction, like up, mini stuns. They don't actually.
It's like slow 100% or
A
something?
dazed effect, is that what you call
They
it?
just slow 100%, I think. They just,
still moving?
yeah.
You may now select your heroes.
It's gonna be a right-click Venomancer for sure.
That's also a pretty good pick, I'd say.
I like it. Lots of vision. Leshrac has a pretty immobile, especially when he wants to be running around on top of you with his 2 AoE ground spells. Will not be able to do that with Venom.
Guys, I'm hearing vibes from you that you thinking we might be seeing Virtus.pro continue on the main stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Positivity then surrounding Virtus.pro, at least here outside Seattle. It's beautiful. Sun is rising even further into the sky, and we're having a fantastic time. I don't quite understand how this works. Let's go head over to your casters, though, and we'll jump into another game of the Dotes.
Lumi in game 1, our panel didn't believe in the Crystal Maiden, didn't stop VP then. Now they pick Chen. Some questions, some heads being scratched. Will it stop them this time? These guys are the masters of the hero challenge. They seem to win with everything. They did it at the summit. They're busting out not quite different picks every single game, but they're certainly not afraid to pull something out of their back pocket. What do you think, Chet?
It's different heroes, but it's same playstyle. They're going to go at you fast and hard, and I think that's going to be the name of the game, right? Chen, something that the panel touched on is the fact that you can grab a creep and just send it to heroes like Keeper of the Light, Nyx Assassin. What are they going to do when there's a Centaur running at you? Let's not forget that Leshrac mid is going to be Maybe's hero, and he's normally very good on the hero, but what does he do when a Centaur runs behind him in setup gank? I feel like this Chen, even though perhaps it's not the best hero in the current meta, very, very good in this game.
Could be the dream game for 11, though. It's already, 3 melee heroes. You've got the Chen army as well, so Echo Slams aplenty could abound if he can get a good start. We did see an Earthshaker go off yesterday and just dominate from the off lane for XXS, but that was against an Ember Spirit. This time, going to be facing up against a Void and an Ogre, both of whom are a lot better at trading blows with the Shaker early. So unless he gets help, I'm not sure he's going to have that explosive start.
And looks like he's going to get scouted by warding into the enemy jungle as well.
So too will the Donkey. Always a risky business type of game when you're up against Lil and you're a courier. So I'm not sure if we'll see him try to snipe it as the Chen, more commonly on some of his other more traditional roaming supports, the melee bruisers.
Forgive me as I talk a little bit about the Somnus or maybe Leshrac. They have played it 3 times in the group stage, 100% win rate on the hero. Here's the thing, they always play it with a save. Twice with the Oracle, 1 time with the Chronosphere on his ally. And the idea is to allow maybe to just go in and just not worry and just dish out as much damage as possible. Always goes for the Bloodstone first to extend his damage and as well as survivability. This game though, not only does he have to deal with an early game Chen roam, but also a ton of burst damage coming out from Virtus.pro. It's definitely one of their comfort heroes. I just don't know whether this is the game to do.
And we're going to see the Venomancer plop down in mid. So normally when the Venos run nowadays, it's as a core and as a safe lane core. Probably Arteezy on EG, the player that most fans are familiar with running the hero, but they're going to mix it up. They're going to put him against the Lash, so it is a 2v2 showdown here, at least early. VP already applying pressure top. They're going to make the move here on the Keeper of the Light, trying to punish him out. He doesn't have the extra moves, but he could be in danger. One through, no attack. They
Not like this.
Yao! Oh, Yao is not going to be happy with them, I'll tell you that.
Well, you could talk to your teammates, but the creeps don't respawn well. Back in the mid lane, Venomous Gales flies through against Maybe. He's taking a ton of damage. Very low base armor all around. We're going to work now under the tower, but it's not going to be enough. The Deny coming out from Victoria. Still a win here for VP, but not getting the experience from that kill.
Yeah, good save there, but it shows you a weakness of the Lesh. He is extremely squishy. And Nyx did not have a point in the stun. He went for the mana burn early just to harass, and as a result, had no way to blunt that VP aggression. So great shot calling, identifying that there was an opening where normally, if a Nyx had saved the skill point or potentially just grabbed the stun, there wouldn't be.
The silver lining out here for LGD is the fact that the Shaker is getting a 1v1 matchup. Like you mentioned, Void is still going to win that matchup, just trades better, but you know, as an offlane Shaker, all you care about is, you know, a couple of last hits.
If not win it, you at least shouldn't lose it as bad as ever, because you know, you get hit by the enchant totem, you can time walk off some of the damage. You have, you know, you're just better at trading in general as well with the bash.
Yep. Notice that he doesn't have a single point in fissure just yet. Just using the enchant totem early on just gives you so much more of an edge. If it's a true 1v1, then you can just kind of last it into time.
They'll need him to come up big because the rest of the lanes are struggling. The first blood happening early top. Ame, only 6-2 here, not exactly farming up the storms. At the same time, Ramsey's not doing particularly well, but of course, Ame is getting help, whereas, at least for now, looks like Ramses has lost his. VP are just going to stick in the 2v2 setup top. Wondering if the Chen is going to make a move at some point. Like, do you see Lil leaving this top lane, or do you just keep on constantly pressuring the Keeper of the Light early?
If he's leaving the top lane, he's probably going to go mid for a gank, but I think if he's, you know, calling a place home, it's probably going to be the top lane for now. You have a very easy camp to access any big creeps you might need, and you're putting a ton of pressure on this Pro Warlord as well as the Keeper of the Light.
Trading the experience, at least for now, with Pasha. Not farming the jungle, just constantly parked and showing himself top. Seems they're content with slowing Ame down, as opposed to worrying too much about trying to get the kills. No one continues to hold mid, already 17 CS for him, and now we will see the move. Solo's gonna, at least initially, rotate off of the lane. Perhaps considers a different setup here. 11 might be the hero that he looks to zone out. Now the Earthshaker could be in trouble as Solo comes in. He's going to start things off with the Ignite. They use the stun. If they get a single bash, 11 actually no TP. They don't need to hold any stuns. They might be able to kill him off here. The Time Walk's still on cooldown for 5 seconds time. He does have the boots advantage and rings around the trees. Not often you see a Shaker get away, but somehow the Stretch Armstrong stun. Time walking forward, they're gonna need that bash to get this kill. 11 keeps on juking, but Ramsey's cutting him off. The bash! Finally gets it and drills him. Did not think he would be in range there for the Fire Blast, but just barely clipped him.
I wonder if he would have survived if he just like walked straight home, you know? Like he did do quite a bit of jukes in the jungle, although...
I think probably, yeah.
I mean, Ramsey was doing a very excellent job, like body blocking as he's hitting, walking in front of him, so it would have been tough either way. Good gank here from Solo, and he takes away the rune as well, so very good.
Haste rune grabbed, and you know, something you touched on, these melee bruisers, generally the main hero's snagging runes, and Solo has been doing that. Grabs the haste, he's grabbed 2 bounties, also finding the kills. He got a double damage rune earlier, so constantly pressuring them is...
Oh, they're gonna gank Lil in the jungle.
Taking over this LGD jungle, but it might be an overextension by him. The double stun comes through. Lil does not have a TP scroll either, so maybe running him down. The Edict works its magic, and LGD get back on the board, finally getting a kill here and trying to turn these lanes around.
Very good ward to actually scout out the rotation of your jungle. Normally, you don't put this, the other one, deeper into the jungle, because, you know, Chen is going to be taking that path a lot of times, and you're actually going to be able to pick up a kill. So earlier you were comparing the Venomancer to something that, you know, EG has been playing a lot, but the mid-Veno builds it quite differently. Maxes the Gale here as you fire off and there's just so much harass coming in. But looks like the harass will get turned the other direction as the Nyx Assassin rotates in.
Yeah, not a single point in the Plague Wards yet.
Yep. This is a kill build, you know, you go Gale, you get your ult at 6, and then once you land the Gale, you're just going to get a kill. So much right-click damage with the Poison Sting as well. But immediate smoke from LGD from the mid lane after shrining up, I think they're baiting them in, or perhaps just a bad smoke.
Looks like no one is rushing the Midas here. Already grabbed the Gloves of Haste, so let's play a bit more of a proper carry Veno. As you mentioned, really just trying to be the big damage dealer for his hero in these upcoming fights. So LGD sensing something's not right. Yao is going to TP out. Pasha was hunting for him, but evades the Scorpion, gets away to safety. Meanwhile, a lot of key ultimates about to come online. Echo Slam very close for 11. We see Ramses now trying the Chronosphere. The chase is on top as VP dive behind the tower. The double Big Bird strat goes in. Ame getting burrowed initially, but the tornadoes are on cooldown, and now the turnaround comes. They want to catch him out, but Pasha somehow jukes the stun. They're going to need a batch here, and they do get it at the buzzer. Ame securing the kill.
Meanwhile, as we saw on the big screen, Chronosphere permitted for the Earthshaker kill. Trying to defend himself, but still not level 6 just yet, and Shaker also goes down. So, fairly similar start for VP at this game 1. Might not be getting as much out of the lane stage, but LGD definitely very far behind right now.
So, interesting choice by Lil here. You know, one thing that we have seen with a lot of the recent Chen picks is 11 goes in on Ramses, keeps on hitting him with the totem. The fissure comes out. He's just not got to level 6 yet. Otherwise, I think that's actually a kill, but it's a bit preemptive with the initiation. But yeah, the Chen is going Midas as well. So, you know, where the Chen picks in theory fall off a little bit, or even a lot later on, Lil is going to try to stay relevant. And, you know, some of the recent buffs this hero has gotten, I mean, you can talk about them more. A lot of them are around his late game. Yeah, especially with the talents.
Well, we're going to see an initiation going on maybe on the mid lane here. They will miss, and as a result, Somnus is going to die. He's going to try to take down no one with him, but not enough damage.
Victoria wrapping around. He sees 2 low HP heroes. Solo gets out as well. Nobody dying. They just need that bit of follow-up. Would love to see 11 there, but sadly his
mid lane Gale happening again. Victoria pops the spike and just needs to TP out. This mid Veno is so threatening whenever he just lands the Gale on you.
Forcing him out of the lane. Meanwhile, Pasha up top does get hit by the axes. Ame looking for the bash, still not getting it. Will he continue pursuit on Pasha? Does burrow away to safety as Ramses worms his way through the trees. Echo Slam finally online, and they do bring Maybe down for this. No Radiant Vision of this rotation, but Ramses senses something's not right. Time walks back to safety. Should be out of there. They'll steal a small collection of creeps. But so meanwhile, VP are making their own move as they smoke up. The Chen is going to join here with the Ogre. And they're going to look to make this committed dive into the enemy woods.
Oh, they're going to see this Troll Warlord farming in the woods.
Ame in danger, perhaps. The whirling melee axes are on cooldown. He might need that bit of evasion here to get out safely, and now getting slowed down, taking some decent nuke damage, gets the axes off again, but won't make it up to the high ground. Lil nukes him down.
Can they catch anyone on the way back? Fissure trying to block people off. They just went for some Chen creeps. Don't feel like they kill any hero.
LGD are just feeling very immobile right now.
Yep.
They seem a bit slow to react. They're, with the Veno Gale coming out, often heroes can't get away. Meanwhile, VP, while they have some clunky heroes on paper, are making them feel rather nimble in practice.
Gale hits on the mid lane again, and maybe just uses a very defensive stun to just get the Veno off of him.
He's going to be losing these raindrops soon.
Yeah.
Now the rotation comes in. VP looking for the flank.
They just don't stop.
They're bringing 2 cores to the mid lane, and the ward gets dropped out. That is going to cancel the salve, and now, while Ame wants to chase no one, they're looking to cinch the news from the rear.
It's coming.
Solo's coming in with the help of the creep army. Going to connect here, maybe he tries to juke, but they get off the slow. Now the follow-up clap can come through, potentially. Stays out, just out of range. Now the Hadouken does.
Okay, raindrop does block it.
Does block it. Needs to get to the shrine quickly. There's going to be another one pulling down in a few seconds, but I mean, they had 2 cores sitting mid during that time just to try and dodge the gank. They bring 11 towards top. LGD are just all over the place with these lanes, and they are getting punished for it in terms of farm.
Yeah, LGD just feels like a plumber in a bad pipe in the bathroom. It's just like there's so many leaks, and they just going everywhere to put out flames, and it's just not working.
What kind of plumbing experiences have you had?
I'm a bad plumber.
You're seriously bad if you've got flames coming out everywhere. I don't think it's quite that bad for LGD yet, but it might get there at this rate.
Maybe he does have a haste rune. He definitely wants to get a solo kill, but the spidey senses of no one, he dodges away. Now the conversation after the game 1 was that, from the panel was that, you know, they need to play faster. LGD does. Do you think they have adapted?
it definitely hasn't worked out that way in practice. I don't think Keeper the Light is that type of hero, but mid lane, Victoria looking to finally set up something, and they will get this key Venno kill, taking him down mid. Went for that Midas, so a bit squishier than Venno might be at this stage, and does get punished for it, but that said, he has already started using the Midas. The Chen Midas about to be picked up here as well, so even if VP are giving up deaths here and there, could still find some openings. As Yao lurks behind the tower, they're trying to farm up 11's Blink Dagger. It's a critical juncture for LGD. Close to the Blink, tons of AoE parked behind this tower. Do VP dare commit? Solo's gonna wrap around it into the waiting arms of Yao, who's revving up the blast and following that through with the Enchant Totem. He finishes it emphatically with a dunk.
Good vision. They had this ward, and they just saw the Ogre Magi walking up on his own, and was able to pick up the kill. Very nicely done.
How much pressure do you feel LGD are under, Lumi? There is a double Midas already completed.
Yeah, for sure. A ton of pressure to answer your question. And they can't really get out of the map as easily because there are Chen creeps everywhere. Venom wards are scouting out ganks left and right. And you can make the argument that Virtus.pro are scaling better to the late game as well, especially with that double Midas. That double Midas, especially with Venomancer's level 10 plus 30% experience talent, is going to put him to level 25 so very quickly. Ame forced to TP out. Burrow Strike will be here on time.
Hesitated for just a second. He gets the bash, but not enough damage pumped out there. Pasha scoring the kill in his own blink. Only 700 gold off. They are going to send Victoria roaming this way. Perhaps he can find no one who's trying to farm up from the safety of the high ground, but maybe looks to close the gap. It's another Victoria special coming in with the help of the Pulse Nova. They score the kill. Desperately needed momentum here from LGD. All of it coming from the Victoria engine.
Yeah, Day9 has been really on the case of the, 80% win rate on Nyx Assassin?
It was like, 79.8 something.
And this is a game where we're seeing why he's actually doing so well. Think of a a 4 position Sanking.
Ramses, he's been scouted out here. The Blink's available. No Echo Slam on 11.
Yeah. So comparing to a 4 position Sanking to a 4 position Nyx, right? Even if you have a good laning stage with a Sanking, you still need to farm for that Blink Dagger. And that means you're just off the map for 5-6 minutes doing nothing for your team. But the difference is here, Nyx Assassin, as soon as he turns 6, he just gets to walk around the map and start setting up kills. And as they say that here, Victoria invised up again. He's just waiting for 9posh to walk away from the tower vision.
And just look to carapace one of those caustic hits, potentially get this kill. So Pasha lurks back at the tower, suspicious that something is not right because Leshrac has died enough that if he's sitting there, he likely does have help.
There's no way that...
By the way, this ward that LGD have top has been instrumental in stemming the bleeding. It has scouted at least 4 or 5 VP movement stops.
That's what gave them the Ogre kill earlier. They saw the Ogre walking around.
It just dodged the Void gank initially. It's since dodged any sort of, follow-up sticking around. Solo kind of rambled up that way. Lil was doing the same. That ward right now is the 6th man for LGD.
Right. I mean, you normally don't ward there as a Dire. It's such a defensive ward, but in this game, LGD knows that they're running at you non-stop, and that ward is probably one of the best in business to kind of stay alive. And again, Victoria, as soon as that Invis is ready to go, he's going to probably pop it and just be on the map again. Smoke Gang coming out this time here from LGD.
It's maybe again. They just keep on trying to punish the Leshrac. Constantly being pursued in the mid lane. And Chronos there with the help of the double damage, and Ramses can probably do the solo Gale coming through. Poison Nova committed 11 there looking for the trade, but Ramses just walks it off. Now Victoria rumbling in, wants to get onto no one here. They're gonna need a stun. He connects on one, but Lil looking to salvage this fight. Followed from Pasha as they engage forward. Ame gonna go down. It's just one to the next here. Ramses jumping in. He is not going to be pushed away by a simple carapace. Now Solo giving a bit of clubbing action. 11 though, backing away, still has the Echo Slam. He's already used the Blink defensively, and then the bash comes through. The Fissure from low ground. Dodge away! Ramses pulling out the jukes, breaking ankles as he time walks over the Nyx stun, scores the kill. They just never had that crucial opening for 11 to turn the fight, Lumi. Too chaotic, too much of, 3v1, 2v1, 1v1 type engagements. He just couldn't find a good Echo Slam.
Yeah, Shaker is really good as a hero when the slows are, when the fights, are slow and methodical, and this is the opposite of that. It's just VP running at you, you don't have time to set up. And one of the conversations that the panel was also having is that Keeper of the Light is a hero that needs a little bit of time and a lot of farm to come online. Yao is getting no room to get that farm. Moving forward, this bathroom is really looking like it's on fire.
It's on fire. There's leaks everywhere.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for LGD right now.
What is the strategy at this point for LGD? Like, how do you see their overall game plan? Are they a 5-man pushing lineup? Are they a turtle farm lineup? Are they trying to sneak a Roshan? Like, what are some of the key points as far as how they get back in the game strategy-wise? They're not actually down really at all in the net worth department, but it does feel like all the momentum is VPs right now.
Right, they're not down like economically wise right now, but double Midas is one thing. The heroes that scale so well in Virtus.pro is another. But to answer your question, LGD, they are definitely a slowdown and farm. Dodge ganks, get off pickoffs on your own with your Shaker as well as Nyx Assassin. Get that Bloodstone online on Leshrac. Leshrac with the Bloodstone, once you get going, you get a ton of kills. He can be a big factor in these kind of mid and late game team fights.
Better to have the deaths now before the Bloodstone comes out, and maybe...
That's one way to think of it.
Is close.
Yeah.
Now, that said, Leshrac is not the escape artist that many other Bloodstone carriers are, like Storm Spirit, for example.
Right, but and here's the thing, it's something I brought up earlier, and what we just witnessed in the last fight, that no save. No Oracle in this lineup, as we do see the initiation into the jungle. Nyx Assassin does get off the nice spike against 3, but will go down. And that invites the push on the mid lane. The tower's going to get killed pretty easily.
Low on mana here on Ramses, though, so it doesn't seem to matter. He is unfazed as he muscles down the tier 1 mid.
Yep.
The Midas is slowly kicking in for VP. More so in experience than in gold, at least for now, but still waiting to see when that next offensive will come from LGD. They just constantly seem to be reacting to VP's movements, warding defensively, getting ganked under their towers, just biding their time as finally we'll see some recall action here.
I like this.
Yeah, I'll bring in 11, and this could be an opening.
Yeah, Blink Echo Slam to start the fight, but...
Pasha would be a big kill. He shows himself with Sandstorm. Could be the opening. 11 lunging in.
Oh, the hesitation. 11 didn't want to use his Echo Slam, but
I think he wanted to go for the fissure, like the enchant totem fissure kill,
right,
and save the Echo for a follow-up.
This is no time to save, man.
Greed or hesitation, whatever it was.
Yeah, just
awesome
go.
There.
Well, easy for us to say, but maybe he felt like he needed to take the risk. I do want to point out the nice bit of synergy here. The panel does mention the Bloodlust helping the Faceless Void quite a bit early on. Just with simply the Mask of Madness as well as Bloodlust, he fights really well. And Chen has also gotten a Frost over creep. Could put the Frost armor to take away the disadvantage of that Mask of Madness as well. He becomes a kind of a pretty sick carry at this point, just with the help of his allies. Pretty nice.
This siege is risky business for LGD. There is so much counter initiation available for VP. Pasha lurking in the trees with the blink, epicenter at the ready, not to mention the void that you talked about, and the potential bonus damage he could bring to bear. So we will see LGD get nervous, they back away. Pasha being off the map is doing wonders for VP this game in terms of scaring the bejesus out of LGD.
So Chen is close to finishing that Aghanim Scepter really soon. I didn't think we we're going to see an Axe Chen at TI, but
we're going to see a lot more than that at this rate.
We're going to see, big creeps being dominated. What's your favorite one here that you think will help out VP?
I mean, the plus HP is always huge.
Yeah, plus HP is great.
From the Rock Golem.
I wonder if we're going to see some of the newer ones.
What's your personal favorite?
Oh, I like my Black Dragon. You got to rain fire over kids.
Setting up on the bottom lane, they want to make the go on Pasha at the same time that Lil is trying to TP out. He gets caught. The Sand King might die as well. Very low, 11. Not quite able to finish him off, and did commit the Echo for that.
Yep. I'm not sure whether they changed Sun Echo into Illuminate, into Fissure. If you had all of that, it should be a kill, but I did not see how that fight broke out.
I believe he interrupted a little bit with the Burrow Straightaway, but in any case, not able to finish him off. Good news for LGD, though. They get that first Bloodstone charge for Maybe, and now Maybe can take this tier 1 down as well. But the TP reaction coming in from Pasha. Wants to try and hold the line here.
Is he going to let the channel epicenter?
Thinking about it. I don't think he can solo kill Maybe, though, at 1800 health. He'll certainly need backup as VP start to posture near the Roshan pit. TP coming in to the south side from that void, and no one gets scouted out here. Actually, Victoria as well. He is forced to Carapace to push away from 11. Time on forward. He catches out 2. They need the follow-up damage. Bring in the Poison Nova. It will start quickly bringing down the Nyx Assassin. Tries for the stun. Down he goes. Decisive play from Ramses there. VP grab 2.
Ramses has a double damage rune. That really made short work of 2 heroes with a chrono. Very nicely done. Just before that kill, I was going to say, look, this is exactly the pacing LGD wants to have. You know, just a very slow game. You set up a gank with a Shaker, you set up another with a Nyx, and then you just let your Bloodstone Leshrac to be there to soak up all of those kills. But VP answers back very quickly. And we are getting to a point where all of these kind of farming items that VP has purchased is about to, you know, sink in. The Ramses Lincolns is about to be finished, so he will really start to hit hard and start to build damage without worry. The Midas has been running for a long time now. Hurricane Pike being finished on no one, and of course the Aghanim Scepter I talked about on Chen is very, very close to being finished. I think VP will give it 5 more minutes or so, and then the pressure is back on.
Yeah, they're definitely going to hit a huge power spike with that round of items that you talked about. And LGD tried to prevent them from getting to that point. They move in with 11, Echo Slam in 1 second. They break the smoke. They find Ramses to start the fight. Huge takedown if they can get it. Gets pushed away, but
what a force down!
Paja almost finishes off 3. Ends up dying, but will bail out his Faceless Voice. Victoria's low. Brought down. So much poison damage. Also, maybe now getting caught out. They finally commit the Echo.
Force Staff again!
Force Staff Gaming pulls them out again. LGD have to run.
No one playing out of his mind that initial Force Staff was his, pushing the Void away from a certain depth. That was a perfect chain stun coming out from LGD. I think Victoria perhaps hesitated just a slight second, and again, got just punished for it. That secondary Force Staff, just as good.
God, that epicenter was huge as well. Breaks up the chain of initiation, triple hero stun, then they get the Venomancer, damage ticking in the whole while, and nobody can fight at that point. Like, once VP just dropped that stuff, Lumi, that was a fight without Poison Nova, a fight without Chronosphere, and I would say VP still won that fight.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to watch it one more time. The smoke breaks from, and then they react so quickly. Venomancer pushes them away. Look at the hesitation on Nyx, and then the Sand King comes in. Good thing, I guess, silver lining here is that the Leshrac did die relatively early into the fight, giving the rest of the team a big heal with his Bloodstone. Meanwhile, in the woods here, Solo, driving Ya away as the Roshan. Gonna get claimed here by Virtus.pro.
VP, the numbers might say they're only slightly ahead, but the momentum has been consistently theirs. At 23 minutes, towers are falling. They went for the greedy double Midas. They've made it work for them as they first ensured that they were winning these lanes before they grabbed it, and now their team fight just continues to ramp up heading later into the game. Lil has his Aghanim Scepter online, so those bigger creeps are available to buff up the army, to buff up the 5-man. You've got the Bloodlust.
Sand King blinks in mid lane, Burrow Strike. They got the Venom on the back line. 11 in a lot of trouble. No Force Staff to get him out of there. He's going to spend his gold. He thinks he'll die. He's going to farm a little bit more. Buys a recipe before he dies. All right, not too bad here for a Shaker.
You say not too bad. I say another death.
Oh.
LGD constantly on the back foot, and Ramses looking for more. Here come the bashes. There goes the kill. Again, VP, every gank is a success. Now they TP in Ramses bottom. With the Aegis, he's unafraid, and they can't even take this tower. 3 heroes from VP marshalling the defense. Victoria will grab a bounty run. He's stalking Pasha, but really seemed like he wants to go for a kill. And who do you go on as an Nyx? Lil's got an Aghanim Scepter. The Ogre's naturally extremely tanky. There's just not any easy pickoffs at this stage, Lumi.
I don't think there are pickoffs anymore because the way that VP is going to play now is the Chen game. We're going to group up and send 5 at you. Nyx Assassin, very good when you're kind of finding 1 or 2 in the jungle. You set up a gank for your team, but that is not the playstyle that Virtus.pro will have for the remainder of the game.
So with this Aegis, if you're in VP's shoes, any sense of urgency, any particular objectives that your eyes are on?
You wait for your Chronosphere to be back online. You either go for a smoke or a frontal push. Either way, it's fine. I think Virtus.pro is ahead enough where they could do a frontal push, and LGD cannot repel. Of course, if you just get a smoke gank and it works, that would also be great.
Big opportunity for LGD. They actually wait. They let VP get back to their tower. They see Ramses. They know what's behind him, or at least have an idea of it. They're looking for this flank, but they've been hesitant this game. We saw it earlier. with 11 not dropping the echo immediately. We're even seeing it now where they try to find that perfect opening, and well, they do. Chen going down early in the fight, but at the same time, a 3-hero burrow. Pasha can come back with the epi into the chrono. Still 30 seconds though, so Ramses won't have it yet. Gets the bashes, scores the kill, Shaker down. LGD now on the run, and this is where things can get ugly as Pasha continues to try to find that opening. Still waiting, gets the burrow, that's 2, about to be a 3rd, the bashes come through. VP routing LGD. Indecision is the name of the game for them.
They have to be decisive. They have to see the Void. They have to go in and kill the Void. There's just no other way. This Void is dealing so much damage. And it's hard. It's hard.
He has an Aegis.
Yeah, he has an Aegis. He has the Chen Hand of God. He has defensive force staff on his team. There's so many saves on the side of Virtus.pro. And unfortunately, LGD can't say the same for their own heroes. And it's like you mentioned earlier, you know, it's 1K goal lead, 2K goal lead, but to me, this game is, for LGD, they're so far behind.
It's rapidly getting out of hand. And then you just look at some of the matchups heading later. Like, we'll take another look at this fight first, see how it unfolded, where they committed everything for a Chen, got caught by a quick 3-hero burrow, second time that Pasha has managed to counter-initiate and interrupt LGD. Again, they're fighting in between a Shrine and a Tier 2. And a Tier 1 in the mid lane. So there's so many ways for VP to cut them off and, you know, rejoin this fight, even if they weren't already in position. And you just see the patience of Pasha waiting, not just for that first kill or the second kill, but looking for the follow-ups as well. But back to the action where Victoria is in the back lines as they have caught out Old 11 in the trees. Pasha pursuing him out. The Shaker's in danger.
Oh, he's gone.
Tries to make it away, but where are you going? Where are you going, my friend? Echo Slam available. The burrow comes through. They're kiting him. They control him nicely, and they score another kill. And now Triceratops coming into play as the Ancient Thunderhides also join the squad. VP on the warpath. No signs of a slowdown.
Yeah, they're going to just group up and look to finish the game. What is your defense, LGD? Shaker dead for 30 seconds, does have Echo Slam, but 30 seconds with this Void hitting your buildings. Burrow Strike coming through on the backline. They see Yao. Yao's gone.
This Void is massive with not only the Mask of Madness, the Bloodlust, he's also got the Frenzy from the Ancient Thunderhides. Making him hit like a truck right now as he chews through the Mailer X. It feels like Ramses is already into the late game. How can LGD answer? Their base is crumbling. VP take one lane. They're looking for the second.
They could go mid. Are they going to give them the respect to the Shaker?
Back away here. Will Victoria try to pursue? Oh, it looks like they get out safely, at least for now. As a team, they stagger back.
Oh, they see Newbee.
Looking for the flank. Gets caught out. He's forced to throw that Yule's out defensively.
Link. No.
Decent stuff from the Knicks. They need the Echo Slam, though. They need the Shaker, and he's in the base. Why is maybe out so far? LGD are not playing as a team. It's what got them to this point. But it won't get them any further because they're dying one by one. Now 11's turn. Caught out by Ramses. Getting pummeled by the Hammerhead Sharkman and chases forward onto Yao. They keep on spamming the chat wheel, charging at their buildings. VP, head full of steam. Second lane of Brax is theirs. The series is theirs. They have slain LGD.
They made it look easy. This time, you know, they got off the fast start as they always do, and then scaled it back. Patience with double Midas. And then as soon as they got enough items for that push, the game was over.
I think as we look at VP and where they might go in this tournament, Lumi, we can't question their drafts anymore. They made the Crystal Maiden work, they made the Chen work, and they didn't just happen to win with those heroes. Those heroes were integral in the strategy in both games.
Now, before we give too much credit to Virtus.pro, I felt like LGD didn't respond well. You know, Pano says we need to speed up the game. We need to make sure that we don't get run over. But